It's the 21st day in the month of April 2026. So yeah, we'll gradually get into the end of April, and the weather is changing. So the rains are getting more serious, and hopefully to douse down all of these heats that we're feeling everywhere, because it's just a lot. But any which way, I hope that you're great today. All right, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, and you're welcome to HerLens, where we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. All right, so this morning I have Buki. Buki, let's start with you. Good morning, Buki. How are you today?
Okay, yeah, Buki is doing great, great. Buki is doing great, and I want to thank God for that. Yep.
All
And
right.
then
Thank okay.
Helen's family, yes. Good morning, everyone. So, how are you doing as well? I hope you're doing great because I want to know that you are doing great. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tibuki. Thank you for joining us this morning, and it's good to know that you are doing well. All right, let's get to hear from Susan. Hi, Susan. How are you today?
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Mabuki. Good morning, Halens family. I'm doing good. I hope everyone else is doing good too. Good to be here this morning.
All right, Susan, it's good to have you join us this morning. So hopefully we get to have you being able to join us pretty much soon. All right, so yes, for you to be a part of the program, please do well to dial the number 07000 You can also dial 09155 Please go ahead and let us get to hear from you this morning by sending us WhatsApp messages to 070 317 56537 or 08155 All right, let's head on straight to the very first thing that we'll talk about this morning. And I just really want us to talk about, respect, Gen Z, and all of that. Because of this video we saw now, I know Kuku here, Yoruba like that. So maybe, Susan, you will help us, give a perfect explanation. But all I could see from here is that, a particular scene came up in a bus, and before you know it, there was altercation between a very elderly woman who, we could all say, oh, this one, she she's she's one that you can call a grandma, like a grandma in every word of it. And then this young girl who is probably maybe in her early 20s, and it led to one thing led to another, and then there was assault in between. And so whether the grandma tried to slap her to correct her or the lady herself, retaliated and all of that. And before you know it, the lady found herself in police custody. I think, but Susan, I know say they hear Yoruba. um, maybe just give us, a good background to this, but because everything just seemed like a lot to look at. And I'm like, somebody grandma, oh, now you they do like this for where we don't throw respect. At least me that is not Yoruba, from watching it from outside, I could actually tell what was, going on in my own little way. But I'm sure that, because my mind was, Halens, I have them plenty. There's Susan, there's Buki, there's Ibina. All of Unapuku, they hear Yoruba. So, Susan, and I'm specifically calling you because I want people to, to understand that
Okay, let me confess.
yeah, go ahead, Susan.
I haven't watched
Ah,
the video,
you
so
see?
maybe I would need to go and watch the video. I've read the story,
Yeah.
but I haven't watched the video because me, sometimes I'm like, well, I think I need to watch the video so that when I am analyzing, I won't be biased. So maybe you start with others. Let me quickly watch the video.
All right, so Buki, let me come to you, Sha. Because I wanted to start with Susan because she's not, core Yoruba, but that would make people understand that you can actually learn any language if you put your mind to it. And that's the beauty of it, because Susan knows how to speak Yoruba, know how to speak Hausa, know how to speak Igbo. So I just wanted to let us start with that. But Buki, let's get to hear from you and what you took from this video, the whole scenario that played out there and what we could get from that video. And the explanation the girl came out to come and be doing safe. For me, it just felt like a medicine after sickness. I mean, how did they say that thing? But then go ahead, Buki.
Okay, so maybe you need to find out from Ibinabo if she actually watched the first video. I
Mm,
did not watch the first video. I read about it,
yeah.
and my understanding was the woman, well, should I use the word assault? I don't know what the lady did. That's why I said maybe Ibinabo watch the real video so that we can actually, yeah, because I'm coming from the angle of the report that came,
Mm,
and comments people made, with the new post when somebody was now beating the girl. I think when the girl got to the police station, that why would she beat up an elderly woman, but the question was for me was that what did the elderly woman do? So the comment I got was the fact that, oh, the elderly women, the elderly woman slapped her. I don't know if that is correct, because you also alluded to that, so the question is what happened. It's a public vehicle. It's a public vehicle. What happened? I am not saying that the girl um, did what was right. What she did was very wrong. Even if the elderly woman slapped her, yeah,
mm,
even if she should have restrained herself, that I was taught well. I would not hit an elderly person, because at times elderly people do some things at times, it is in this generation that we are talking about respect. Even the elderly woman too should have respected herself in our own days. Even if you know you are the right one and the elderly one is the wrong one, you understand?
mm-hmm.
The way we were brought up, you don't do that. We're still Africans, as far as I'm concerned. We're still Africans, and we still have respect. It's really not about the fact that you are fighting up for yourself or whatever it is, but you are showing that you respect the age. You understand that you respect the age. That, well, yes, if you want to say when you age, that they were not fair to you because the elderly woman did something wrong to you, but you have not looked at where the elderly woman too is coming from. You understand? I don't know
Mm,
what she did. I was looking at one of the comments, and somebody was saying that somebody was saying that in the banking hall, she sat down, maybe he or she sat down, and then she was playing Candy Crush and things like that, and the elderly woman beside him or her said, "Oh, why are you playing Candy Crush at this your age with this your beard and all that and all that?" And for me, it was like, why would you play Candy Crush such that the next person, it's a public place, so mind you,
yeah.
was disturbed? When you're in the public space, you use your earpiece. So whatever you are doing does not concern anybody. So, other people too commented that means it was very loud, you were disturbing. So the question is, why we want to sort these things out, let us also know, how do we behave in the public space? There are some women, you understand that's bossy, because they are disciplinarian. That is the way they have disciplined their children, their grandchildren, or whatever it is, that as far as they are concerned, they will see you and discipline you like that. The question is, in this day and age, are there better ways of going about it? Not like the old days. In the old days, even if you do something wrong on the street and an elderly person sees you, the person can beat you, pull your ears, flog you. and drag you to your house, or even if the person does not drag you to your house, you dare not go to your house to say, "Hey, Mama Labaja beat me." You understand? Because the mother will say, "What did you do that Mama Labaja beat you?" Then she will now start her own. That was how the training was. Somehow, because of respect, because of awareness, and whatever, a whole lot of things have changed. But then, how do we work around this? So I would also let the elderly people know that, hey, they cannot afford to do what they were doing that time. There are better ways of doing it. You can actually admonish, you can actually correct rather than beating. Because now, in this day and age, if you do that, now assault, you understand? And then, of course, you don't even know what the girl, I mean, if you slap the girl and the girl collapses, so we need to be very, very careful now. Our stress quotient, particularly for the younger ones, is very low. So please, you have to control your emotions as an elderly person. You can call the person and admonish. It was in a public whatever she was doing or whatever it is. You can say, "Oh, can I have a moment with you? Do you mind if I have 1 minute with you?" And if she says she minds, then mind your own business. But if she says, "Oh, go ahead, Mama," then you can talk, because now you even need to ask permission. It's just courtesy. Let's just understand the season of now. It's just courtesy. And then to the girl, like I said, even if the mama did wrong, for you, I was looking at that girl now. Thank God she called her grandma. She, of course, she must have been her grandma. When you look at age, for her to do that, she get liver. You understand that a woman? Yes, somebody was saying that it was self-defense. No, let us call a spade and not an agricultural instrument. You dare not raise. We are Africans. You dare not raise your hand on an elderly person. Hey, whatever you sow, you reap. That was what they were telling us. You understand that how you treat these people is the way they're going to treat you as well. You understand? You could have just said, "Mama, what you did was, I don't like it. Hey, Joma, Emma Bino, I don't like it." Rather than you hitting her or whatever it is. At the end of the day, now she's now a superstar. Now she came with big goggle and start apologizing and start saying grandma after she has gone through the lesson. Like I will wrap up with this. My parents in those days, they will always say that if they are training you here and you are not listening to the training, okay, that training that you did not listen to, you will meet it outside in the public.
You will meet it outside.
In the public, look at what she has done now. She has brought shame to her family, right? She's on social media now. She went to the police station. I'm sure she had never even dreamt of going to the police station. And you know how the police people would deal with her. You understand? To the extent that she now came up to now apologize. So what is all this drama about? Why can't we just control ourselves, control our emotions, respect ourselves, even if the adult did something wrong? You understand? You respect yourself. But I've been able to balance it now. Even the adults, please, let us understand the season we are in. And more often than not, you train your own people. When you go outside, it's a public space. You meet all kinds of people. Even if you cannot curtail what they are doing, you should ask them. You should approach them. Approach them. Please, can I have a word with you? Do you mind if I have a word with you? Do you mind if I speak with you or something? Let's just understand the terrain we are in. I'd like to stop here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Buki, for your thoughts on this, because a lot was just going on there. As you know, coming from the elderly woman and the young girl in question. It was an altercation, and let's not forget, like Buki said, it was in a public space. The girl was using her phone, and somebody from the back was telling her to bring it down, or so. I think whether she refused or so. So the person highlighted, and then the older woman took this over, and just started. I think maybe insulting the girl for not doing what the other woman said she should do, and all of that. So the girl was now trying to defend herself. Before you know it, grandma landed her with 2 slaps. and
You
the lady then gave grandma her own. So,
you can see
like,
something started it. I'm
of
sorry,
course,
because I know that something started it, and we need to get to that. Many of the Gen Zs, the younger generations, they do not know how to behave in the public. That is the core of the matter. When you are in the public, your phone should not disturb the next person. You use your earpiece. You are playing music, and the next person is listening to your music. It's wrong in the public space. I think we need to have a whole session on how to behave in the public space. Honestly, how to behave in the public space. There are etiquettes around it. You can't be playing your useless music in the bus and expect everybody to be listening to it. It's wrong. Sorry, make you no vex. The thing
no, wala. All right,
they
thank you very much, Buki. So, that caused a lot of altercation. So, this is Your Women Radio, WFM 91.7, and it's 24 minutes after 9 right here on Your Women Radio. And this is the program HerLens. And we're trying to look at, this video that was trending yesterday about this young girl who came out to apologize to an elderly woman who they had an altercation with, inside a bus, a public bus. That led to the older woman, slapping this lady twice, and the lady also, retaliated. And this lady we're talking about is a very young girl, maybe in her early 20s, thereabouts. So she retaliated on this older one who is probably old enough to be her grandma. So this has brought out a lot of views, where you have some people, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, she's an older woman, you shouldn't have raised your hand on her no matter what she did. But even you said, grandma, you said before, just mind your business and move on. But then again, that brings the issue of culture, that brings the issue of respect, respecting one another, no matter what your age is. So, it's just a lot going on there. But Ibinabo, let's come to you. How did you, process these videos? The one that everything happened, and even the apology video, and because this thing led to the lady going to the police station. And a lot of people were saying that, oh, even the people where they instigate you say, oh, make you do 'em, no let grandma. And so all these elderly people go they do. If you not teach them, kiniko, kiniko. So all of those people were nowhere to be found when this lady, spent the night in the police station. And they didn't go there to go and they did not follow her. Now only she, and she go carry her cross. And that brings to mind what it, when we say we are listening to other people, and then we listen to them, and then it leads us into trouble. And when we get there, they're nowhere to be found. You're the only one that will carry the cross. And then you start asking yourself, why did you even listen to them in the first place? So all of that gets to happen. So Ibinabo, let's hear your thoughts on this. How did you process this video, and what are some of the lessons we could learn from this?
Okay. Good morning once again, ladies of HerLens, and good morning to all our listeners. So, well, I can't say her behavior was inexplicable. I mean, we see all of these things all over the place, especially the audacity with which it is being displayed and all of that. So there are so many people out there who are badly behaved, and they do not even see anything wrong with it. This particular situation is messy and it's troubling. And I feel that physical retaliation to the point of beating up someone clearly much older than you shows a breakdown, a complete breakdown in control. And I would also say that two wrongs do not cancel each other out. Both the grandma and the grandbaby, they were both wrong, but by our culture, we are Nigerians. We are known to respect our elders. I'm not saying that even when your elder want to cut off your neck, you should allow your neck to be cut off because of respect. But there are certain levels whereby you can let go of some things because this person is older than you. That is why they say that Yorubas will say, if they carry seniority, they cheat me, Abi, because you will let it go because this person is older than you. And it is not a threat to your life at that point, thank God, that you did not fall and faint and all of that. However, I do not support what the elderly woman did. Because respect is reciprocal at every point in time of one's life. If you want to be respected, you should respect You should give respect. You cannot say because you are older, so you can get away with everything. Because it is even worse these days, because we have children who are badly behaved, and they perceive this as being a tough cookie. But the funniest, being a tough cookie does not translate to being badly behaved. So you see, we need to learn to keep our heads even in a crisis. You cannot say because, like Buki mentioned, me. Okay. So we went to do some shopping for a particular event, and we had to deliver these things at a particular time, and I was still in the market. So I had to tell the driver to take most of those things we had gotten. We are begin to go so that we'll meet you up. So my daughter was like, now mom, let's take Uber. I said, you know, they enter public transport. So I insisted that we should go and take one of those their buses, somewhere they call Jones. She didn't like it, but she had no choice. So when we got on board the bus, yes, you know, some people went to buy stuffs in Lagos. So everybody, the bus was funny, to cut a long story short. And by the time the bus started moving, come and see noise. You see two people chattering away as if they're in their house, not taking cognizance of other passengers in the bus. Some others were receiving phone calls, and some were playing music. There was a particular somebody at the back that was playing all this very annoying, bad lyrics music. And we were all forced to listen. And my daughter was saying, maybe I told her, I said, what? Almost sit down and enjoy it. This is life. This is life. This is the reality of living in Lagos. You cannot live in Lagos and not experience this. You have never lived in Lagos, please. So we were just making fun out of it, but I didn't like it. I felt very irritated, yes, but I kept my cool. Not because I will go around my mouth, they won't pick me anyhow. So as older people, we should learn to respect ourselves and know when to say something or act a certain way. It is absolutely wrong to lift your hand and hit somebody else, let alone somebody else's child. Because that girl, the way she looks, Papa, a good slap would land her in the hospital. Grandma, do that. Leave all those beating for your grandchildren at home. Because we live in even in those days, I would say we had communal living and everything. Some parents never liked other people beating up their children. Let alone this day of Gen Z and every generation and everything has been distinguished. We have the millennial, we have the kiniko and all of that. See, physical retaliation to the point of beating up someone, you know, it shows a breakdown of self-worth, self-respect. I don't support it. I cannot say because you are older, but then again, looking at the younger lady, she could have de-escalated the situation. Or walked away. I mean, how do you see yourself going into fisticuff with an older person, older to the point of being a grandma? It is a shame. See, young people should stop keeping malice with decorum. That's what I told some people one day. I said, you Gen Zs, it's like you are keeping malice with decorum. What in decorum do on a way that they follow and quarrel? Because if you display such high level of disrespect, that means you are fighting with decorum. You and decorum when they talk, now they chat. So you see, and then she came online to boast about it. I mean, see, everything about that girl, forget about that apology. Everything about her, from the way, you see, when you sit and want to look at, if you want to do an audit of somebody's behavior, you look at different angle of that person. She was in a public space, she was playing music so annoying, making all the noise in the bus, and let's assume grandma cautioned you in a very unpleasant way. Anything. I mean, you should lower the volume. She did not lower the volume. And because of the back and forth with grandma vex one land slap. She said, "Call grandma, say, grandma, who you be? My grandmother." She said, "Call do bossa for grandma." Imagine all of them come from one time boss. Grandma, girl. So it is complete breakdown of character. I don't support it. I would never ever support it. Apologies do not replace consequences. When you come and apologize, the consequences are there already. You don't know what your future holds for tomorrow. Tomorrow, you may see yourself as a very loose, disrespectful girl today. Tomorrow, you can be a changed person, and you want to, and maybe want to even vie for a public office. And then somebody will go and root this video and tell everybody that you are an irresponsible person. You do not even respect people, not just your immediate elders, but people old enough to be your grandparents. Just like somebody went to dig up Simi's past ex post.
Yeah.
Prove whatever point they were trying to prove them. So people should be careful of what they do, because there is something we call accountability. You will account for all of these things you are doing, whether you are a grandma or you are a granddaughter. Everybody should be of good behavior. Let us mind ourselves in public spaces. If you are a no-nonsense person, mama, grandma, keep it to yourself. You are in a public space. Nobody made you the judge of anybody there. Oh, your opinion is to yourself, because there are ways we put ourselves out there to be disrespected. And that is what I'm totally in agreement with. I'm not in agreement with, rather. That is the part I feel bad for the grandma, because you put yourself in a position where one brought up, a child that refused to be trained, will not lay a finger on you. I can't imagine it. It's upsetting. Look at the way she was even apologizing, as if she's coming to do one content, as if she's doing a music video.
See all the long hair.
We big Gogu.
Her time to shine.
Losing disrespect all over the place. So why would you bring yourself down so low to have any form of altercation with such a girl? If the music was disturbing, you mention, please lower this thing now. The moment you see her face, she rolls her eyes. Mama, face your front. The journey will soon end. You go come up for the bus, go your house. It's not your home. That's not where you will spend the rest of your life. So it's only for a moment. Just enjoy it and then you go home. Because most of these children, even with parents with parents' effort and everything, they still are badly behaved. They are claiming their rights more than people who get rights self. Such a girl wouldn't mind. I'm not judging her, but she has given me a lot to think about. Look at the way, whether that was her father or whoever was hitting her. Why would you put yourself in such a position where every hand will be touching you here and there? I felt so somehow. I don't like it. You have to respect yourself, even if you are a 5-year-old. We need to raise our children to know what it means to have self-worth, to have values. So nobody talks to you anyhow. Nobody wants your character down. Nobody would have the audacity to raise their hand and hit you. Even grandma will not hit you because of the way you comport yourself. We need to do better. I know that I have seen where children that I know the parents have done a lot to raise them, and some of them, maybe out of 3, one will just decide to be crazy. But having said that, we need everybody, whether you are grandma or your grandpa or your granddaughter or your grandson or whatever you are, we need to be of good behavior in public spaces and everywhere we go. Stop quarreling with decorum. Go and make friends with decorum so that decorum will follow you everywhere you go. And stop misbehaving and disrespecting yourself. Grandma hugely disrespected herself first and allowed a disrespectful girl to hit her. If that was my mother, she will hear from me. I haven't dealt with that girl. I'm coming back to her. And God forbid, you have to go to share with. Person will raise me well, we can't go behave like that. What is she chop? She will never. I can't even, in fact, in my wildest dream, it won't happen. please, everybody should behave well, please. Wherever you are, whether you are within the public, even in church, some people inside church, they will come and be. I saw a woman, a lady put on a certain dress, and she went to that lady and was trying to drag down the gown, as if the gown was too short, and you were dragging it down, and the girl was looking at you. I want to go and meet her later. I said, that thing you did, if you try it with some girls, they'll go talk.
They will disrespect you.
They will tell, and they will walk away and look at you certain way that you will never forget. Let us respect ourselves. So please, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ibina. But let us respect ourselves, last, because if you don't respect yourself, you go see person wey go show you wetin e mean to be disrespectful, and they will do it without apologies. Because at the end of the day, we're in an era where if you do me, I do you back. It's aura for aura. If you like, be 100 years. If you don't respect yourself, nobody can respect you. At least our own time self, millennials, we still dey get respect. If you like, do go shall no say you be elderly person, go keep quiet and look you. But you see these ones now, no, if you give it to them, they give you back. Oh my goodness. I'm just, thinking of some of the scenarios that I've seen in my mind. I'm like, even in my wildest dreams, I cannot even try this. So I don't know whether it's the upbringing or it's just that it was just our own time, that all of this is up. Because when I see what sometimes these Gen Zs are doing, I'm like, hey, God, we will not even get mind at all. Who give us? But now you can't just try anything with them. All right, thank you very much, Ibina. So Susan, let's get to hear from you. What do you think about, the whole video and the whole things that led to it, and where we are right now, what we can do better? Because at the end of the day, we cannot lose ourselves. There is the culture that we uphold. Yesterday, I saw a video of a young boy who is half Brazil and half Nigerian. And the young boy, probably in his early 20s, he came out and he was speaking pidgin, but I think he has gone back. He said the best thing that any parent abroad can do for their children is to bring them back to Africa. The Africa said bring them back to West Africa. Let them do their secondary schools here. So when they are done with their secondary schools, maybe after then you can then take them back, because that is where they will learn what it means to respect. That is when they will learn about life. That is when they'll be able to correct them and grow well, because he is a product of that. That guy could speak English. That guy could speak pidgin. That guy was street smart. And he was saying it that if his father didn't bring him back to Nigeria, when he was about finishing his early school years, and then they brought him back to, he wouldn't have been who he was. Like he was probably saying that he's a whole human being, and that's because of what he got from Africa, not just Africa, but West Africa. And for him, it was Nigeria in particular, because that's where he came back to. So he went back and he saw what some of his mates were doing, and he was looking at himself and he said, no, this cannot be me. This can you so. So at the end of the day, you find out that we have a culture, we have something to actually guide and protect here that we're very proud of. But then again, we are also in the era of, if you touch me, I do you back. If you don't respect me, I will not respect you. You cannot be an elderly person and be doing anyhow and you expect me to respect you. But then an elderly person will come and do you anyhow, and you are forced to say, yes, ma, thank you, ma, okay, ma. And that's it, you go. But now is a whole different ball game entirely. So Susan, let's hear, your thoughts on this particular video.
Thank you, Rose, and everyone that has spoken. I have taken my time to watch the video. Coincidentally, every account that we have is mostly from the girl. She came out to even talk about, in case you see, I was the one who beat up your mom, blah, blah, blah. And just like Mami Binabo said, if it was Susan's mother, you see this last 35 in my account, I will reach Lagos and I will pick you up. You will not do that to my mom, no matter who she is. Now, let's get to the root cause, because me, I'm all about actions and reactions. What you saw that transpired in that bus did not just start in that bus. Because, I mean, we live in a society where respect is no longer taught, it's negotiated. And you see, anger is now normalized. And you see, public spaces are no longer safe, they are survival zones. Now, I listened to her. She said, yes, Grandma, after the lady dropped, Grandma now said the phone is loud and was trying to, I think, take her phone to confirm. And she is like, can she be lying that her phone was on the lowest volume? Our parents, one of the things I learned during one of my degrees is the fact that elderly people do not like change because they want things the old way. And grandma is someone who is part of that society that find it difficult to adapt to change. There are those people who would see things and like Yoruba would say, like they want to address it. But we have also seen a generation where they don't spend anybody. They don't spend anybody. So we also need to address the older generation. I am not saying what that girl did is right. Absolutely wrong. But we should know our limits, especially when they are not directly connected to you. That is a public transport. She has said, oh, it is at the lowest. And people are asking, why should that girl do that? And for me, I am asking, as Susan, I'm asking, why did nobody stop her when this was happening? According to her account, she built grandma to a pulp. I listened. Why did people not stop her? They were allowing her to score cheap points, just like they didn't sleep with her in the cell. You know, this bus was not empty. We are becoming very comfortable, you know, seeing the wrong things happen. And the only thing we'll do quickly is to bring out our camera. And when you big camera jadi, something that is terrible is happening. Someone that can either be her child, the girl was even asking her, after she slapped her, if she could slap her child. Even me, I'm close to 50, I would not ask my mother if she would slap me. Because I know the mother I have, that she can slap you and still kick you. What kind of young adults are we raising? It's a dysfunctional society where everybody thinks everything goes. You know, we like to watch violence because me, it's not happening to me. So let me pull out my camera and video it. Another uncomfortable aspect is, how can an elderly woman be beaten in broad daylight? When I listen to her give her own account of the way she beat this woman, my head kept wondering, how did she beat this woman in broad daylight? So what chances happens to other people? She did not look at the age, she did not care about anything, and so I'm wondering, what if that person was younger than her? She might even send the person into a coma. Yes, grandma, if you slap her and she slumps. Young Sisi, what if you slap grandma? You don't know her underlying health conditions. What if she was a BP patient? What if she slumped at that point and passed? Those apologies are empty apologies. They don't work because they will not bring back the grandma. Neither will, both sides need to weigh the options. But then, I know that most times when people need to walk away from scenarios, you are looking at the weaker person.
All right, Susan, I'm just told.
You are not
just a minute, Susan. We have a call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Can you hear me? All right, go ahead, Susan. I don't think the call is coming through.
Okay, so I'm saying all of this and making all these inferences because today it's grandma, tomorrow it could be another person. Even though I know that we need to know our boundaries, but there are also people who don't understand some of these things. Someone like my mom might even try to say that I've always wondered severally, day your day. I remember when I went to Delta some years back to do a job, and I was telling my younger brother, is this the kind of state is good? Look at the young sister. No go they do born again. No go boom out. Then they know for insult you. So, this is because I had someone in that space. Let's be real. It's a deep discussion we're having on radio. It's a different discussion that happens in real life. What can happen? I mean, on the spur of the moment, what would be someone's reaction? Elderly people learn that this generation, they don't want no, they don't want said, they don't even care. I used to hear when I was growing up, my mom would say, it means you are not my child, and that keeps ringing a bell in my head. It means you are not my child if you will act in this way. So what are our parents telling us? Sometimes, I don't know the man who was hitting her, whether it's her father, but even if it was her father, it will also tell you that maybe he's been trying, but she has chosen her path. Some parents are trying their best, but some young adults have also chosen their path away from all the teachings their parents have been giving to them. So how do we begin to address some of these things? What is society doing? Broad daylight, they beat up someone like that, and nobody could separate them. Nobody from the boss. People were there watching them and thinking, I mean, is it that our culture, we are slowly losing empathy? We are losing accountability. That is the and we're losing courage. Mami Binabo talked about it. We're losing accountability. Grandma should be accountable for her actions and inactions. The young girl should be accountable for her actions and inactions. Where is our empathy? If not, I know that you're an elderly person. I know what I would have said. I know what I would have done. You walk away, my dear. Do you need to do all of these things to show that I'm a Gen Z? I have arrived. Have you thought of what could happen? People just sit down. I read this just this morning in one of the states in Nigeria that a woman was waiting for her child who was writing JAMB, and she passed. Nobody touched her. She was just sitting waiting for her child, and she passed. If people sit down like that and they pass, what now happens to you? Exchanging blows for someone you don't know. What if that young girl was a sickler? You slap, crisis begin. You beat grandma slums, and that is it. If her children could pick you up and arrest you, you will not bomb her because you are above 18, and ignorance is not an excuse. As a society, whether you are young, you are old, we need to start fixing some of these anomalies that we have normalized in Nigeria. We can't keep coming on air and, talking of these things just because, we're in an era of camera and everybody wants to trend. You do such devastating things and you have the audacity to set camera to come out and tell the public and to even tell her children that if so and so happened, I am the one who did it. I repeat, that last 35 in my account, I will use it to address you and put you in your rightful place. You don't have any right to do all of those because you are coming to gloat on air. Bad as the bad, you still came on back on air to come and talk about it. What kind of woman will you turn into tomorrow? Let's be factual. And this is not even a man and a woman. This is a woman and a woman. Intergenerational, we are looking at leadership and talking of how do we, yesterday we were at a meeting at the UN House and we're talking of intergenerational mentorship where the older ones mentor the young ones so that we can take up the baton. And I ask, are these the people you're handing over the baton to? People who see no wrong in beating up an elderly woman. Did she do right? No. Think about it. If she had done that and you come on come and raise awareness. You make a video to say, can we begin to address our mothers? It is just because she's an elderly person. That was why I did not do so. I did not do so. Instead of coming out to come and do such, please let us be accountable, whether you are young or old. Let us be empathetic. This is very, very, because I mean, in this day and age, a lot of things are going wrong, and let us, in all honesty, be courageous. Know what is right and what is wrong. Why do we need to do some of these things? You think it is woman power that you beat up someone who can give birth to you? Come on, we can do better. Let the old adjust to the young ones, because they would have insulted you before you get yourself. The trauma that woman will go through, I'm sure she might not get over it for life. That is the truth. So in order to avoid some of these things, do not have any altercation with someone who is not directly involved or related with you, so that they don't insult you and bring you down. And the young generation,
All right.
if you think you beat her to a pulp, you don't know the person who is
Thank
going
you
to
very
grind
much,
you.
Susan.
Like,
All right,
thank
Buki,
you.
just before we go, a minute.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to just say that we elderly ones, we still have the
Yes,
hello,
we
can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
We, the elderly ones, we still have the responsibility to mentor and show the younger ones the way, even if they say they don't want. Our own is to still say it. Where am I coming from? Please, elderly ones, in the public space, I'm particular about the public space. If you want to correct, request for their audience. Just don't talk, you know. Just, I mean, it's etiquette around it. Oh, can I have a word with you? Can I say one or two things? If they give you permission, go ahead. If they don't give you permission, shut up your mouth and face your front. Shikena, that's it. In your home, deal with them. But generally speaking, as parents, as long as you're bringing people in, please let us train them. Disciplined people bring about disciplined thoughts, and they bring about disciplined action. It starts from the family. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you too, Buki. Ibinabo, lastly, before we go, just a few seconds.
Thank you. I just want to add to what you said, that on a broader perspective, these that we're talking about, and many others that were never reported, they all reflect the rising level of impatience, aggression, and lack of respect in our everyday interaction. And I want to say that people should learn to disengage. It is not every insult that deserves a reaction. And also I want to add that everything seems to be in a deplorable state in this country now. And it is obvious to all of us. This story is not an off-the-wall story. It is just one that made it to the public. Some were not reported. So, and let us also understand that as older people, that some of these youths are big on bad behavior. Let us also realize that good behavior is wilting. We are surrounded by toxicity. Good behavior or good conscience is depleting fast. So if you're a disciplinarian and you think you can discipline anybody anywhere, don't go and do something that will end your life on the street. Because good behavior represents a good person. And if a person is behaving anyhow, that means the person is not a good person. And you don't want to have any issues with a bad person, because it might lead you to your grave. I'm addressing the older ones now. And like Buki said, we're not going to just hang our boots and say we have done our best. We
All
have to
right, Ibinabo.
keep on, trying to, in a subtle way, in a subtle way. Don't go and slap somebody's daughter, she will slap you back, in a
Okay,
subtle way. Thank you.
all right, thank you very much, Ibinabo. Thank you so much, ladies, for being a part of the program today. I just hope that, we learn to know our boundaries. Let's know what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, you're dealing with different people. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. All right, so that's it for today on HerLens. Thank you so much, ladies, and to each and every one of you who tuned in to listen to us this morning. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Do want to have a great day ahead and stay with us right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Good morning.